Hey guys, today we're going to be taking a look at the Urth Arkose backpack, which is a really interesting 20-liter tech and everyday bag. And this is a company that I wasn't as familiar with, but I got a few suggestions to check this one out in some of the comments for other videos. I always take a close look at the comments and the suggestions that you guys have, so I'm super grateful for those ideas and definitely keep them coming. I've been testing this particular bag out for the past couple of weeks, and so far it's been a pretty good experience. In this video, I'm going to be talking about all the different features that it has, how I've loaded it out. But before jumping into the video, if you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Danny, and on this channel, we love reviewing popular travel and everyday carry gear. If you like these types of videos and you'd be interested in seeing more, please consider subscribing as it helps the channel out a lot. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump in. Starting off with the outside of the bag, I really like the overall aesthetic. This has a really modern and minimal vibe that reminds me a lot of the tech and everyday bags that we've seen from companies such as Bellroy, Incase, or Able Carry. And I think it's an aesthetic that's gonna work well in a lot of different environments. You can take this into the office, walk around the city, go into the outdoors, and it just has a very clean look that I really like. It doesn't have a ton of attachment points or zippers on the outside. It does have pocketing that we'll dive into later, but it blends in pretty well with the exterior. You also have the very minimal Urth logo on the front, which is blacked out to blend in with the exterior of the bag, which I really like. Moving into the materials, the bag is made out of a recycled 600D nylon on the exterior, which feels pretty lightweight, but still rugged enough to handle any type of use that you might throw at it. It also seems like it's gonna offer a nice amount of weather resistance. And then you have some great YKK zippers all throughout. Continuing along the outside of the bag, you have some removable compression straps along the sides, which are going to be great for attaching something like a tripod or maybe a jacket. The orientation on these is a little bit unusual compared to many of the other camera bags that I've used in the past. Usually those have straps that go horizontally as opposed to vertically, so just an interesting implementation. You do have them on both sides, so I could see you putting a tripod through here or a jacket, and it's nice that you have these G-hooks here that make them very easy to actually attach and completely remove if you want to just give the bag a cleaner overall look. I was, however, a little bit disappointed that there's no external water bottle pockets, so if you're carrying a water bottle with you, you are going to have to find a way to store it on the inside, similar to what I've done, and we'll take a look at later in the video. Also on the exterior at the top, you have a very nice handle. It's really padded. It comes up a decent amount, so it's very easy to get your hand in and out of the handle. And the material here is very seatbelt-like, reminds me a lot of Air's top handles, and so it feels comfortable and like it's gonna hold up even when the bag is a little bit more packed out. As far as the capacity, the bag comes in at about 20 liters, which is a really great daily bag size in my opinion. It was able to hold all the items that I normally like to carry with me, and it didn't feel overly packed out. And I like that even when the bag is full, it maintains a pretty slim silhouette, which hugs my back nicely and makes it great for navigating crowded areas and jumping onto public transit. Taking a look at the straps and the back paneling, so far the bag has been pretty comfortable to wear. These straps have a decent amount of padding. It's kind of a soft gel-like material that feels pretty good right out of the box. On the inside, however, you don't really have any sort of breathable material to help prevent moisture from building up, but the straps have a pretty nice width to help prevent the bag from digging into your shoulders when it's a little bit more packed out. One thing I wanted to call out on the straps is you don't have any sternum strap included, and it doesn't look like you have the ability to add one, which isn't a huge deal for a 20-liter bag, but if you plan on carrying a decent amount of camera gear, I could see the bag starting to get a little bit heavier, and it might have been nice to have the option to at least add a sternum strap if you wanted to. Moving into the back paneling, this has also been pretty comfortable. There's a decent amount of padding here. It is a little bit stiffer than what we saw on the strap, so it's not as soft and comfortable out of the box as the straps were, but it still feels pretty good. It feels like it's going to offer a decent amount of support. There isn't a ton of breathability, however, like the straps, it doesn't have any sort of meshy material, and although the padding is a little bit elevated on the sides, there's no air channels in the middle, which would have been nice to see, as that would have provided some extra airflow and ventilation while walking around throughout the day. While we're on the back paneling, a few additional things I wanted to mention is that there is no luggage pass-through to allow you to rest this on a suitcase while traveling, which would have been nice to see. And then at the top, you have an extra loop, which might be helpful for hanging the bag up. And at the bottom, you have a hidden zippered compartment that's going to be great for storing some of the more sensitive items that you might need to carry throughout the day, such as a wallet or a passport. In my case, I just placed a field notes notebook in here to just kind of show off the size. Jumping into the organizational options, the bag has a pretty nice variety of pockets all throughout. On the exterior, you have some quick access pockets near the top. So starting off at the very top, you have this type of quick access pocket, which I love seeing on any daily bag that I have, which is great for just reaching down and grabbing anything, easily that you need to while you're on the go. So in my case, I use this to store my Apple AirPods Pro, and then I also tossed in a lightning cable and power brick to charge my iPad and my tablet. This compartment offers a decent amount of space. This might be a good spot for sunglasses or your phone. And then I just wanted to note that on the inside here, you don't have any sort of fleece lining, but it still offers a decent amount of space. And then you also have two additional zippered compartments in this top area, one on each side. They have a pretty similar layout and capacity. And so on this one here on the right, I just tossed in a deck of playing cards, and I also threw in a little tin that I have with some band-aids and ointment. On the inside of the compartment, there's no additional organization. You can see I can fit my hand in here pretty comfortably, so this is going to be great for any of those larger items that you need to reach. And then on the other side, again, similar capacity. In this one, I just tossed in my GoPro Hero 3 Plus, and then I also have a little manicure set that I like to have with me while I'm on the go. Moving down towards the bottom of the bag, you have an additional separate compartment that offers tons of space for anything larger that you might need to carry with you. This has a pretty wide opening, so it's easy to grab whatever you need to. You can see into the inside. In this area, I just tossed in all those bulky items that I like to have with me. So I have a pair of sunglasses with their case. I also tossed in my Beats Studio wireless headphones, which, it has this hard case that's tough to fit in a lot of compartments. I also threw in my DJI Mavic Mini with its hard case, and then I have my BluePop portable Bluetooth speaker and power bank. So you can see on the inside here, pretty simple layout, just a big bucket. And this is something that you can pair with a camera cube that Urth sells, which allows you to convert this into a pretty functional camera bag. So that goes right into this compartment, and you can loosen up the compression straps here, and they have what they call their kind of split opening. So you can see this comes up pretty wide, and when you have a camera case, you can open that up and reach in and grab your gear. I didn't test out the camera accessory, as to me this is just fine as an EDC bag, but it's nice that you can toss that in and add a little bit of structure and protection to your gear. As you can see, this area is all not very rigid, which makes it great for daily usage, but it's not going to offer a ton of padding and protection for any camera gear that you put in without the camera cube. So something to keep in mind, but it's really nice that you have that flexibility to add it and use it as needed. On the inside here, the last thing I'll call out is that you have an extra zippered compartment that you can use to store smaller accessories, cables, memory cards. I didn't really use that for anything. And you also have the ability to unzip this divider and give yourself a little bit more capacity if you have taller items that you want to carry with you, or maybe you want to use this as a weekend trip bag and you want to throw a packing cube. You can actually collapse this divider, and then you have full access to the 20 liters of capacity. So again, just really love the flexibility provided by this compartment. In my case, for the most part, I really enjoy using the separation, as I can toss in those larger items, or maybe even use this for something like a pair of shoes while I'm traveling or going to the gym. And then the last area we're going to take a look at is the main compartment. So this is a top loading bag, but you can open this up wide enough that you can have a nice visibility to everything that you have in this compartment. So plenty of space even when I have the bag divided out. Because this isn't super rigid, I like the way that this kind of molds around all of the items that I placed in here, so I didn't feel like I was really struggling to fit the items that I normally carry with me. I even tossed in this Matador towel that I don't always have with me, but just because I had a little bit of extra space, I tossed it in there. And then on the inside, I also have my Air Slim pouch that has a lot of the tech accessories and dongles that I need to carry with me. I tossed in my water bottle. This is where I mentioned earlier, it's unfortunate that there's no external water bottle pocket, because I'm storing it here kind of close to my tablet and my laptop, which isn't ideal if there happens to be a spill of some sort. But so far I haven't run into any issues. That still fits. I also tossed in a full-size Moleskine notebook. And then on the back of the compartment, you have some additional organizational options to just kind of reach all of those smaller items that you might need during your day. So on the right, I have a little slip pocket that I use to hold my Apple Magic Mouse. And then you have some smaller slots on the left to hold something like a pen, which is what I currently have here, my Fisher Space Pen. I also have a little flashlight, but I can see you put maybe a stylus or an Apple Pencil or something like that in here. And then on the back, you also have a tablet sleeve, which is going to be able to hold a full-size 10 or 11-inch tablet pretty comfortably. I have my iPad mini in here, but you can see it's getting kind of swallowed up by the compartment. And the sleeve itself has some padding. It's not that thick, but it is not just a standard slip pocket. It does feel like it's going to offer a little bit of protection. It's also pulled up off the bottom of the bag. And then you have a separate laptop sleeve, and I really like the implementation on this. You can see the sleeve is nicely padded. It's a little bit thicker. On the inside, you have this soft fleece lining to help prevent against scratching. Currently, I have my 13-inch MacBook Pro in here. You can see that you can definitely fit a 15 or 16-inch laptop pretty comfortably, and I like that this compartment is suspended off the bottom of the ground, so your device is going to be well protected if you happen to place your bag down a little bit harder. So pulling my laptop out, now with the compartment empty, you can get a better look at the inside. And again, I really like the soft fleece lining on both sides of the compartment, and the sleeve comes up a decent amount, so if you happen to have a thicker device, it should be able to squeeze in here pretty comfortably. One thing I wanted to note is the sleeve is kind of close to the top of the bag, so if you have a taller device, I could see it being a little tricky to get this in and out, or maybe getting caught on the zipper. But for my size of device, I haven't had any issues, and I just really feel like my device is going to be very, very well protected in this laptop area. So great implementation there. And in this main compartment, I really love the bright lining on the inside to make it easy to see everything that you need to. I also, again, like that you can collapse the divider to get a little bit more space when needed. So a really nice flexible layout all throughout the bag. I like the aesthetic, and if you're looking for a versatile tech and everyday bag that can also work as a camera backpack, then this is going to be a really solid option to check out. And so to wrap up, it's been a pretty good experience testing out the Urth Arkose backpack over the past couple of weeks, and you can currently purchase this on Amazon or the company's site for about $160, and that's for the bag on its own. If you want to purchase the camera insert that I mentioned during the video, you can kind of bundle the two together. That's going to bring the price up a little bit. And at $160 for the bag itself, it's definitely not a cheap bag, but it does feel like a pretty reasonable price considering the features and the build quality that it has to offer, and it also compares well to other similar bags in this price range. And so as I was testing this out, the first bag this made me think of is the Brevity Jumper Photo, which we looked at a little while back, and that was a really great minimal camera backpack that had a lot of flexible organization. And I like the aesthetics on that bag as it looks like a normal backpack. It's not super obvious that it's a camera backpack. It also has a laptop compartment, and it also is a little bit less expensive. The build quality on that one is not going to be as strong as this one. Also, the weather resistance isn't quite as good. It doesn't have as many pockets, but it is just a very solid camera bag for anybody who has a more simple layout and you want something that's not super obvious that you're carrying camera gear, then that's going to be a fantastic option to check out. The next bag this made me think of is the Able Carry Daily backpack, which has been one of my favorite minimal everyday bags of the past few years. That one just has a fantastic build quality, a really comfortable harness system. It's more comfortable than this one in my opinion. It has a much simpler organizational layout. It doesn't have all the different pockets and slots that this bag has, but it just offers a decent amount of space, a sleek look. It's not gonna have the camera insert either. So if you're just looking for a simple everyday bag that's gonna be a little bit more comfortable than this and that has a similar aesthetic, then that's gonna be a great option to keep in mind. Another bag this made me think of is the Moment Travelwear backpack, which is a really solid minimal everyday bag that could also function as a camera bag. It had a similar philosophy to this where it has a separate camera insert that pairs with the bag, but you can take it out if you just want to use the bag as an EDC and tech bag. And that one has a great minimal vibe, a really nice simple organizational layout. It opens pretty wide so you can easily pack the bag out. It's offered in a few different sizes. I think this bag's straps are going to be a little bit more comfortable than that backpack, but I do like the aesthetic and the organizational layout on the other one a little bit more. So, some different trade-offs depending on what you need. But if you are looking for a bag that again is going to be flexible enough to work as a camera bag, but that you can actually remove and use as a daily bag, that's going to be another really solid option in this price range to check out. And then the last option that I'll mention here is the Wander Duo Day Pack, which is another great tech and camera bag. It has very weatherproof materials, a full clamshell style opening. You can really open that bag up and grab whatever you need. You also have very quick access from either side of the bag. Lots of great internal organization for all of those little items that you might need to carry with you. And it has the built-in pop-up camera cube, which is a different kind of philosophy to what you have with this bag, where you can remove the camera cube there. It just kind of collapses down when you don't want to use it. That camera cube to me feels a little bit more minimal, so it's not gonna hold a ton of camera gear. You can place like a body and a few frames or just some of the accessories that you might need on a lighter shooting day. I feel like this one is gonna be able to hold just a little bit more since you have that bottom compartment that can really get filled up, but both are really just great, versatile options. And if you're looking for something that comes with that built-in camera organization and it's gonna provide a little bit more access and also weather resistance, then the Wander Duo Day Pack is gonna be a great alternative to check out. With that being said, the Urth Arkose backpack holds up really well against all those bags, and if you're looking for a versatile tech and everyday bag that's going to offer plenty of organization and that you can also use as a camera bag, then this is going to be a great option to take a look at. And I'm definitely curious to hear what you guys think of the Arkose backpack and how it compares to some of the other tech and camera bags that we featured on the channel. And if there are any similar options that you think I should check out, as always, please let me know in the comments. And I want to thank you as always for watching and supporting the channel. And if you enjoyed this video, please give us a like. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming videos, and we'll see you in the next one.